Hi Flosstube. I'm filming in a different place today. This is my bedroom. I just put my kids to bed. I share an office with my husband now. I share a adult. No, that's not the right word. I share my husband's computer is in the same room as all my stitching stuff right now because we hardly ever saw each other. So we just moved into the same room, but then it makes it hard to film because I feel weird filming in front of my husband because I'm cool like that. And I have been trying to find a time to do this, and it just keeps slipping through my fingers. So I just decided done is better than perfect. That's like the motto that I need to adapt into my life, is done is better than perfect. I don't even have notes. I'm just going to start. This week has been crazy. Kaden had my 6-year-old had 3 early out days this week, which really messed with our schedule. And then we used to have swimming lessons and ninja class on 2 different days, and now they're on the same day with school. So we go to a swimming lesson, school, and the ninja class, and it just makes for a really long day that takes a long time to recover from. Here's Jason. Hi, Jason. Just so you guys got to see him today. So Tuesdays are now the worst days ever. My other dog, Vader, as in Darth Vader. A lot of you are asking me what I was saying, whether it was Mater. It's Vader, V-A-D-E-R. My German Shepherd has had so many health problems, and I swear we have been to the vet at least 16 times in the last month, and we're going again tomorrow because something else happened. It's been like really stressful. And then, as you know, I am 33 weeks pregnant, and I'm pretty sure this baby's coming early. I have had a lot of contractions. Like every day I have contractions, every day. Like some of them were really awful contractions, and some of them are really minimal, but nothing like consistent. But I've had a lot of other early labor symptoms, which are TMI. I'm not going to talk about them. But I'm pretty sure this baby's coming early. So I have been in full nesting mode for the last, it's probably been a week. I've been like mopping and doing all this laundry and buying everything that we still need for the baby. And like, the car seat doesn't come till Saturday. So the baby at least has to wait until Saturday. We have our little changing, sleeping. We always sleep them in a pack and play. Sorry, there's toys all over the floor. I have kids, okay? We sleep them in a pack and play in our bedroom for like the first 6 months. And then those drawers have all of his clothes and blankets and diaper changing stuff on the other side. And then that'll be where I'll nurse over there. Everything's getting all official. Everything's getting real. It's been weird. So the nesting is in full swing. And I haven't been sleeping, and that just makes everything so much harder. So, you know, life's been life. Life's been life for everybody. Kaden's been having some health problems that are kind of scary and like undiagnosable, and so we've been trying to deal with those. I've just been stressed. It's just been stressful. But amongst the stress, I did get a lot of stitching done, okay? So, and I got a lot of starts. I know I said like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this in my last video. I said all these things. Basically none of those things happened. So I told myself I wasn't gonna start anything till I at least got to the end of the page on end of the row on my Haid. That didn't happen. I started like a million things. And I said that I was going to start a couple different things that I didn't end up starting. And now they don't sound fun anymore. So I'll save them for another time. I'll keep them in my stash. But my Haid, I did finally get to the end of the row on my Heaven and Earth Designs Stepping Stones It's awesome. I'm so excited about it. Oh, if you can see my eyes, it zooms in on my eyes. That's silly. Looks so good, and I'm really excited about it. You gonna get up here, Jason? Come on. Up. Up. Come on. Jason. Come on. Up. Up. He'll get up in a second. So I'm really excited about it. Now I had already moved my Q snaps over here so that I could start on this, but I had to take them off so I could show you how awesome it looks. It looks so good from far away. You can see all the different definitions in the clouds and everything. So I'm really excited about that. I finally got to the end of that. And then I didn't work on anything else until, okay, so I worked on this exclusively for like a month because I was trying to get to the end, and I did get a ton done. But then one day I was scrolling on Instagram and I came across the haunted library and just completely fell in love with it. It was a Saturday and I had already run all my errands earlier in the day, and I was like, it was nap time. It was Declan's nap time. So I was just sitting there stitching on my hay during nap time, and then I took a break and scrolled Instagram for a second and saw the haunted library and was like, oh my gosh, I have to start this right now. But everybody else had started it already. Everybody else started it in July. I think the first part, the structure, like the stairwell, came out in July. And everyone had a month to work on the stairwell, and then the characters started coming, and a little bit more structure. So I was to chapter 3. So when I heard about it, there was only 2 characters on the pattern, and decided I needed to start it right away. So of course I just ran over to Hobby Lobby, because we have a Hobby Lobby here now, which is amazing. Well, we had one, but it was 20 minutes away. I mean 30 minutes away, and now this one's only 15 minutes away. So of course I ran right over to Hobby Lobby, got all the colors that I needed. They had all the colors. Some people have been saying that Joann's does not have colors lately. They don't. Hobby Lobby though has been pretty reliable color-wise. So I ran out of Hobby Lobby, got all the colors, and then I did not want to drive up to the craft center because that was like an hour, and that's stitching time, you know? So I did not drive to the craft center. I drove to my mom's house, which is about 25 minutes away, and dug through her stash. And she, of course, had a piece of fabric that was perfect for it, and she gave it to me. So this is the haunted library. This is how far I am so far. I love it so much. Let me get closer. I have about 320 stitches I figured out before I came up here. 320 stitches left until I'm caught up, and the new design comes out at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I was hoping I was going to have this completely caught up before 10, and then I was gonna try to be like the first one to finish the next section, but now my day has gotten crazy tomorrow. I have Caden goes to school early on Fridays and comes home early on Fridays. So it's like a 2-hour day. And then I have to take Vader to another vet appointment, and then I have to take him to his grooming appointment. So I'm just not gonna be home tomorrow until the afternoon. So I don't think I'll be the first one to get it done, but there are still plenty of sections. Everything on here is done except for Dracula. I have a little bit left to do on him. Can't see. There we go. A little bit left to do on Dracula, and that light in the middle. And then Dracula's done. And then I have this part completed. It's so colorful. And when I started stitching it, I did all the browns and the blacks first, and then started adding in the color. I like to start with the highest stitch count first, and then work my way down. I don't know why. I guess it's like eating your vegetables before you eat the good stuff kind of thing. I just like to stitch that way. So I did get a lot done on this and I'm really happy about it. So I also worked on that. And then I was scrolling on Instagram one night. It was actually after I had set up the pack and play and like got in the chair, everything, and like vacuumed this room and I was just out of breath and needed to sit down for a second. I was scrolling Instagram and I saw somebody had started this. It's kind of see-through. There we go. Somebody had started this, Everything's Better with a Little Magic, by Stitchrovia, and I can't remember who it was. I'll have to put them on here and say who it was, but they started this, and I'll also put a little thing on here that says, or shows what the full thing is gonna look like. But this is what I worked on most of the time that I was at the, well, not most of the time. I worked on the Haunted Library most of the time I was at the Crazy Woman Stitching Retreat. And then I worked on this for the rest of the time because it's just so fun. The little witch is just so cute. I'm really loving it. I love Halloween. My house is already decorated for Halloween. I love Halloween. It's one of our favorites. We decorated on like the 15th of September. So I started that at the I started it before and then took it with me to the Crazy Woman Stitching Retreat. I went to the Crazy Woman Stitching Retreat. It was True Retreat. It was in Casper, Wyoming. Put on by Missy Connolly. I think that's her name. It was a lot of fun. We got to take a plane because this pregnant I was not about to drive and I was still under the limit on how pregnant you can be and still fly. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fly. And I asked my doctor, I was like, is it okay if I fly? And she's like, well, it's not recommended. And I was like, okay, but can you tell me why it's not recommended? And she's like, well, sitting that long, it just makes blood clots and like, so you just need to make sure you get up and walk around pretty often. I was like, but the flight's only 45 minutes. Or she said I had to get up and walk every 45 minutes. And I'm like, well, the flight's only an hour on its own. And she was like, yeah, there's just like pressure changes. So you might want to wear like compression socks just to help with clotting. And I was like, well, I could either sit in a car for 7 hours or longer than 7 hours because I'd have to take a break every 45 minutes, or just take this quick hour-long flight. And especially with the new concourse in the airport, you get a pretty good walk in before you get on your plane. Then you get a pretty good walk on the other side of the plane as well. So I wasn't worried about it and I flew and it was fine. I wore compression socks. I did a lot of walking. It was great and I was glad I flew. There were some people that drove and they just did not look like they enjoyed driving. I don't enjoy driving. Granted, I'm always driving with kids in my car and that's awful. Maybe if I was retired, I would enjoy driving better. But anyways, went to the Crazy Stitching Retreat. It was awesome. I won a raffle. I got to take all my gadgets and try them out in real life. This is the pattern that we got. It's by Cricklewood Crossing. She's one of my friends. And I've gotten the bird done so far. Again, I did all the black on the bird and then did the white and then the yellow. Because I like to eat my vegetables before I do the rest, I guess. It's really cute. I love the count that it's on. Oh, I do have the pattern. Pattern's right here. Came with a cute needle minder that matches. And then this cute little bag tag that was the branding of the Crazy Woman Stitching. This is what it's gonna look like. And this picture does not do it justice, like at all. The one that we saw in real life was so pretty, and I like, this is pretty too. This is pretty, but the one we saw in person was like amazing. I love it. I might change up the brown flower in the middle, or at least get something variegated. My mom said the same thing. It's actually her idea. I stole it. To do a variegated in there. So that was fun. I mean, so that was a good idea that she had. So I'm working on that. It says, what I love most about this crazy life is the adventure of it. And it was a special design for the retreat. So you can't buy it anywhere. Sorry. But I really love it. And then of course, I was at a retreat, so I bought a bunch of things. I bought this, I don't know what it's called, by Becky. Becky was selling these things. It's just like a roller. It's teal on the inside. And then it has a roll at the bottom. So what it's designed for is, like if you have a finish, you would, oh, I put magnets on here. Silly me. If you have a finish or you just ironed it and you don't want to like uniron it or whatever, then you would put it right on here in the center, and then you just roll it up and it keeps it protected. It's not going to get dusty in there. It's not going to get snagged or discolored or crinkled. It just stays inside this roll, and you can put a bunch of them in here. I have a couple I need to put in here that need to get framed. But it's my favorite color, and I thought it was so cute and I had to have it. I actually didn't get it right off the bat and had to think about it for a couple days, and then finally the last day I was like, I'm getting it. I'm just gonna get it, it's fine. So I bought that. And then I also bought this little cup with a little pillow in it. I thought it was so cute, and it's my favorite color. And if you take the little pillow out, the pillow's not quite the same size as the cup. It's got a couple little things in there right now. A broken needle, a little frog that someone was passing out, and some scissor tips are in there right now. But I love it. I love to look at it. So I just had all these things that I could look at while I was stitching. And then I was putting my orts in there, and Kim was putting her orts in here too. And then when you need to pack it up, you can just stick this thing in there because it fits in there really good. Like, it's not coming out. And then you're not making a mess everywhere, and your orts are secure, and it's cute. Like, how cute. I love fall colors or jewel tones. I really love it. I love it a lot. So I got that. But I think those are the only two things that I bought, which is basically a miracle because I have a hard time saying no. And then I won. Wait, hang on. I have too much stuff in my lap. What is this? Goes with this. This goes with this. Okay. I won this bag that is so cute and so perfect. That fabric's upside down. It's just a bunch of spooky characters in planes. And I have all boys, and so like, how cute and perfect. I don't have anything girly around here. It is all, I'm not a girly girl. It's by, I'll just show it because I don't want to say it. It's by this person. I really like it. It's really cute. Oh, and the inside looks like this. So cute. I love Halloween. You guys have no idea. This is the project that's in there right now. This is my Everything's Better with a Little Magic. And inside that, I didn't just get a bag, of course. Inside the bag was another bag with a pattern in it by Praiseworthy Stitches. It's their a churchyard Christmas. So I got that. My mom has actually stitched this. It's really cute. I love it. So I don't have any plans about starting that anytime soon. But I'm also not in the Christmas mood yet. I am full swing Halloween right now. But I'm really excited to own this for my stash. And then my two favorite gifts, not favorite, well, yes, they are my favorite. My two favorite little gifts that I got is this little needle book from my friend Glenda and Shauna from Shauna Marie Stitches. They made these cute. They asked all of us. We have a little, we're called the Wasatch Whipsters, and we meet in Provo once a month at Shauna's house. And a couple times ago they asked us all what our favorite color was, and then they made us this freaking book that's so cute, and it says Wyoming, and it says Crazy Woman Stitching Retreat 2022. It's just so cute in my favorite color, and it had not a seam ripper, it had a needle threader in here. It's a little needle book, and these are little pockets. Isn't that so amazing? Like, I just can't believe she put the time in on something like this for me. It's just crazy. I love it. I love it so much. So I have these sitting next to each other on my stitching table so that I can look at them while I stitch, because I just love them so much. And then my new BFF, which I'm spacing on her name. I'm super embarrassed. I think it's Jen. I think her name is Jen. I was sitting next to her ripping, and I think I flipped my needle or something and lost it, and I was like, I need a seam ripper. I've always wanted one of those seam rippers with beads on it, or so that I don't lose it. And they're not the seam rippers are not seam ripper. Just a ripper, a frogger. I need a frogger. Because you flip your needle when you're trying to rip things out, and it's hard to hold on to, and then you can't find it. So, gosh dang it, I am so mad I forgot her name. I was just talking about her earlier today, and now I can't remember her name. She's the Hobbyholic. I know that. Hobbyholic. Robin! Oh my gosh. Her name is Robin. Duh. Okay. I was sitting there complaining about ripping and how I didn't have a ripper, and she's like, here, have mine. And I was like, no, that's okay. I'll just use what I got. And she's like, no, like, keep it. Like, you can have it. And I was like, you're just gonna give me your ripper? And she's like, well, yeah, I have another. I was like, but you're just gonna give it to me? And she was like, yeah. I really liked her. She was one of my favorite new people that I met. Although I didn't meet a lot of new people. Look, it has a little duck. You can't see it. Has a little duck. Nope. It's just so sweet. Like, who would just, here you go. I just thought it was awesome. So Robin is one of my new best friends. She is hilarious. It was really fun to get to know her. I'm not very good at going around to other tables and meeting other people. I'm really bad at it. I feel like I don't get a lot of uninterrupted time to stitch. So when I go to retreats, I just want to stitch, you know, which probably is pretty off-putting. People probably think that I'm pretty awful. I also do not have the best resting stitch face. I have a really bad resting stitch face. And so it probably turns people away. But I'm so nice, and I would love to talk to you. I just don't have the courage to walk up to you and start talking to you. So we got to talk to Jen a lot, and she is hilarious. She's one of my new favorite people. I'm really sad she's not coming to Stitch West. I don't know when I will see her again, but we are best friends. Okay, now on to gadgets. You ready for this? So I got to try out, I was trying to do a video before I left on the gadgets because they're all technical and I couldn't figure it out. And I wanted to get all the math figured out before I did my video, but I didn't get the math figured out until like right before I left. So let's talk about chargers, portable chargers. Everyone talks about the Halo Bolt, everybody. And so I bought it because I was like, well, everybody has the Halo. I need to have a Halo. Hang on, my foot is totally asleep. Ow. Everybody's got the Halo. So I just bought it and I was like, I'm gonna try it out. And then it's not very forthcoming with information. You kind of have to do a lot of math. But I figured out that it has, it's only 58 watt hours, about 58 watt hours. So what that means is that if you're going to be running your light, which my favorite light I'll talk about in a second, is 6 amps. And it says right on there, power. I don't know if you can see that. 6 amps, power 6 amps. So to run this light for an hour, it's gonna require 6 amps, okay? So, or watts, good grief. It is like pretty late at night. So this is 6 watts. So if this is 6 watts, that means it will take 6 watts to run this for an hour. And so if this is 58 watt hours, then it means that this will run just my light for about 9 hours. Which if you've ever been to a retreat, the days are longer than 9 hours. You wake up pretty early and you go to bed really late. So I was realizing, I'm like, why is this so popular? Because it's not going to charge my phone and my iPad and my pattern keeper tablet and my light. It's not going to do all of that. I would have to have a couple of them and switch them out. And that frustrates me. I don't like that. But 3 years ago, I bought this one. I just saw it on Amazon and bought it. I didn't do any research into it or anything. I just needed one for the retreat for my very first Stitch West, and I was so excited and I needed a power bank. So I just bought it without even doing any research or knowing anything about watt hours or blah, 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 blah. So I bought this, and me and my husband were talking about this. And he's like, why did you buy this when you have that other one? The other one's way better. And I was like, no, it's not. Everyone talks about this one. This one has to be better. And he's like, no, that other one is way bigger. And they're about the same size. This red one is a little bit heavier. But this one has 2 plugs. This one has 1 plug. This one has 2 USBs. This one has 2 USBs. So they're about the same. This one's like slightly heavier and a tiny bit bigger. But, so this one's 58 watt hours, but this one is 146 watt hours. So this is almost triple the amount of power that this is. So this one will run my light and my pattern keeper tablet and my iPad and my phone. Like, it'll charge it all, no problem. I never ran out of battery with this in one day. I still charged it every night just to make sure that I had a full charge every day, but I never had to switch it out for this one because I was like, this one's not gonna last me enough time. So I highly recommend this one. They were about the same price, so why not? And then the TSA rules. So I was looking into the TSA rules. You can have as many batteries as you want as long as it's under 100 watt hours. So you could bring like a bunch of these onto the plane and they wouldn't care. And then up to 160 watt hours, you can only have 2. So because this one is over 100 but under 160, you could bring 2 of these on the plane and they would be fine with it. If you're really wanting all the battery packs, you could bring 2 of these and a bunch of these. You just can't have more than 2 that are over 160 watt hours, which this one is not. This one's 146. So it's just barely under the TSA requirements, and it's 3 times as powerful as this one. Has a little handle. It doesn't have like a carrying case or anything, but I think it's pretty rad. So I recommend this one, not the Halo. My personal opinion. And then also, if you ever go to a retreat and you're sharing a hotel room, or even if you're not sharing a hotel room, I suggest you pack a power strip. Anything will do. I have a lot of stuff. I had both batteries that I was charging, my phone, my watch, my headphones. I was charging a lot of things, and I was sharing a room with 2 other people who are also charging their things, their batteries, their like everything, their lights. I don't have any rechargeable lights, but my iPad, my pattern keeper, like I was charging everything, and I needed like 18 outlets. Hotels don't have that many outlets, so especially if you're sharing a room, you're gonna want to bring this with you. And luckily this had enough ports on it for what I needed, but if it didn't, you could just go grab this out of your room and use this to charge some more things. Or if you're nice and you want to share your power, which I barely have enough power for myself, you can have other people plug into this. So I highly suggest this is a necessity if you go on a retreat. So you can have your charging station, everything charging when you wake up in the morning, or when you go to bed at night, you can just plug everything in right next to each other. When you wake up the next morning, you can grab everything you need, put it in your daily stitching bag, and take it down to the conference center or wherever you're meeting. It was awesome to have everything in one place versus like, oh, this plug over here, this plug over here. We were having to, even with this, I had all my stuff plugged into here, but my mom and my sister-in-law still had to like unplug the TV, unplug the lamps, to get all their stuff plugged in. So, bringing power strip. And then on to my favorite lights. I did a test between this light, and a rechargeable light, which I don't even have in here. And I did not like the rechargeable light. I do not like that rechargeable lights start out so bright and then they just fade. Because you don't really realize that it's fading, and then you're like, oh, why do I have a headache? Or this is about like, why am I so uncomfortable? Oh, it's because my light's super dark and I didn't even know it. I like to have a lot of light. I have the worst vision in the whole world. That's not true. I can see things pretty fine, but I like to have a lot of light. Like, why strain yourself? You know, if you have an option available, you might as well have more light, right? Everybody would choose to have more light over less light. So I like having a light. And it bothers me that rechargeable lights don't just, I wish rechargeable lights would go full power, and then die. Like, I don't want a light that's going to go dim over 12 hours, over the span of 10 hours, 12 hours. I want a light that's going to be full blast until it dies. You know what I mean? It's not really how batteries work. But it just makes sense. You know, I don't want a non-functional light for half the time that it says that I can have it. So I like plug-in lights. So I got this one. I don't like it. It was awkward. I can't clip it to my, I like to clip it to my Q-snap so that it's always in the right spot. I don't like to clip it to the table. And I couldn't ever, I have a Q-snap. Why am I could never get it in the right spot to be functional. And it's not very strong. Like, see how it's already bending? It was either like really close to what I was working on, and it did not impress me. It's heavy. If you like having it on the table, it does have these suction cups that would help you. So if you stuck it to the table, it would suction to the table and it wouldn't move. And then you could have it here and have it like your table's probably like down here, and you could use it that way. But even then, like, it's still falling down. Anybody bumps the table, it's gonna fall down. Just did not love this light. Like, what the heck? I'm sending it back. And I'm sending my halo back. But this was the winner. This light is amazing. I do wish it had a magnifying glass in here, but I will survive. I have it twisted in on itself. Normally it looks like this. Ta-da! And I like to twist it up and over onto itself so that it shines, so that it's shorter and it shines on what I'm working on. So if I put it on my Q-snap, it's lighter than that one, but it's still like, it's still something extra that you have to weight-wise think about. And it just sits just like that on my stitching. And then to plug it in, it either has a plugger, or we call them pluggers. Caden calls them pluggers. It has an outlet or a USB. And I'm gonna actually use my handy dandy. Look, it still has 40% and I haven't even used it in a week. That was the other thing. I charged this 3 days before my trip, and when I got there, it was dead. It should definitely hold a charge longer than that. But this thing is still kicking. Okay, so I plugged it into my handy dandy thingy. And then it has 2 options on this thing. So a 1 and a 2, and it's not power level, it is a different kind of light. Oops, I waited too long and it shut off. That's the other thing about the difference between these 2 lights, is that this one, if it doesn't sense any power being pulled within like 10 seconds, it'll shut off, so it's not wasting power. This one stayed on forever until it died because I forgot to turn it off one time. Like, come on, get smarter. So this is temperature of the light. So this is 1 and this is 2. So one's kind of a blue light, one's kind of a warm orangish light. I like the warm light way better than the blue light. And look how bright it is. It is amazing. The reason I like having it on my Q-snap, or yeah, sitting on my Q-snap, is because I can angle the light. I know when I'm sitting across from someone, if they have a light and it's like this and it shines in your face the whole time, they're not fun to sit across from because you don't want to look at that the whole time. So I love, and most people don't even think about those things. Like, I'm always looking across the room at people to like, and you can see the light on their face. So I'm like, is that light on their face? Oh yeah, it is on their face a little bit. I can angle it the way that I want it angled so that it's only pointing at me. And my stitching, because I don't want the person across from me to be miserable. I don't want them to have to look like this. I want them to be able to see my face, you know? I like to see other people's faces. So this light won by far. It doesn't, I traveled all the way home. Look, it's not moving at all. Wherever you set that thing, it's going to stay the way you set it. So yeah, this light won. I will link it below. I probably will not link the halo, and I'm probably not gonna link this dink. Not gonna link this thing. I will link this. I think I got this off Amazon, so I'll link this and my amazing battery pack and this light on there for y'all. My next retreat is Stitch West, and I'm so excited. Stitch West is the first retreat I ever went to. I love it. It's coming up in like 3 weeks. I'm hoping this baby will stay in at least till the end of Stitch West, and then I can have the baby. I don't like being pregnant. I do not like it. This is our last baby, and I'm just so excited that this is the last time I'll ever have to be pregnant. I am not a good pregnant person. And everyone's like, oh, make sure you get lots of sleep before that baby comes. But you're not sleeping anyways. Like, you're so uncomfortable and heartburn and like you can't get comfortable. I'm not sleeping. Even if I tried, I am not sleeping. But as soon as that baby comes out, at least you get little spurts of actual sleep, you know? So I sleep way better after the baby comes out than being pregnant. I hate being pregnant. So yeah, I think that's everything I was going to talk about. If I missed anything, let me know. I know I didn't show a lot about Crazy Woman Stitching. We got so much stuff from people. People were coming around, bringing around like scissor fobs and all this stuff and magnets. Those were talked about in other videos. Other people did videos about it. I'm not sure when that cut off. Missy had a really cute package that she gave us. It had this really cool mug in it that I haven't even pulled out yet. This is my first time even looking at it in real life. But it looks like just a boring black mug. And then when you put really hot water in it, it shows the Crazy Woman Stitching logo, which was so cute. Oh, and the sweater. Let me go grab my sweater. I also got the sweater. I got it pretty big because I'm pretty pregnant. So that's the logo that shows up on the cup when you put hot water in the cup, which is really cool. Haven't got a chance to wear the sweater yet because I've been so hot. I am usually the coldest person in the room, and right now I am just the hottest person in the room all the time because I'm pregnant. I'm so done being pregnant. So that's it. That's all I have to show you. So I hope you get a lot of stitching in, and I don't know when I'll film again. I'll for sure let y'all know when the baby comes, and happy stitching.